In the heart of the kingdom, there lived a princess named Isabella. She was known for her bravery and charm, with a spirit that sparkled like the stars in the night sky. Unlike other princesses who spent their days in palaces, Isabella loved exploring the lush forests and climbing the highest hills. She often rode her white horse, Snowflake, through the meadows, laughing and singing as she went. Isabella had a kind heart and always sought to help those in need. She listened to her people's stories and dreams, believing that every voice mattered. Her adventurous nature made her beloved by everyone in the kingdom, from the oldest elder to the youngest child. Yet, there was more to Isabella than just her beauty and kindness. She was also fiercely determined. Whenever challenges arose, she faced them head-on with courage. Little did she know that her bravery would soon be put to an unexpected test that would change her life forever. As the sun set one evening, shadows began to creep into her world in a way she never imagined. One bright afternoon, as the sun filled the kingdom with golden light, Princess Isabella strolled through the palace gardens, her laughter echoing through the air. Little did she know danger was lurking nearby. A group of shadowy figures crept closer, their eyes fixed on the princess with sinister intent. They had been planning this moment for weeks, waiting for the perfect chance to strike. As Isabella admired the blooming flowers and listened to the birds sing, the villains moved stealthily through the shadows, drawing closer to their target. Just as they were about to pounce, one of the guards noticed their suspicious movements and shouted a warning. The court fell silent, and panic erupted as everyone realized what was happening. The villains sprang into action, rushing toward Isabella, determined to capture her before she could escape. The guards scrambled to protect her, but the villains had a frightening plan in mind. They tried to choke her while shouting orders to each other. The tension in the air grew thick as chaos unfolded in front of everyone. The villains had their eyes set on Princess Isabella for a sinister reason. They believed that holding her captive would grant them power over the kingdom. Led by a cunning mastermind named Rocco, they hoped to use her as leverage against the royal family, demanding riches and control in exchange for her safe return. As they crept closer, Rocco whispered his plan to the others. The moment of capture required precise timing. They aimed to create chaos and confusion. Once the guards were distracted, they intended to spring into action, surrounding Isabella and quickly overpowering her. Their plan included a frightening tactic, using a chokehold to seize control over her before anyone could react. With every passing second, the tension grew. They watched closely, waiting for the right moment when Isabella's laughter turned to confusion and fear. To them, it was not just about kidnapping. It was an opportunity to strike fear into the hearts of those who believed in peace and safety in the kingdom. They were ready to execute their scheme, unaware that help was on the way. As the villains lunged toward Princess Isabella, alarm bells rang throughout the palace. The guards, realizing the gravity of the situation, shouted for reinforcements, their voices echoing in the chaos. Friends of the princess, including her loyal childhood companion Mia, rushed to her side, their hearts pounding with fear and urgency. "Help! Someone, please help!" Mia cried out, her voice filled with panic. The once peaceful garden was now a battleground, filled with shouts and confusion. Though the guards fought bravely, the villains moved swiftly, their sinister plan unfolding before everyone's eyes. Isabella felt a wave of fear wash over her as she struggled to remain calm. She could see the determination in her friends' faces, but doubt crept in. Would they be able to save her in time? The tension hung thick in the air as she caught sight of Rocco's wicked grin, knowing that every moment counted. All seemed lost as fear gripped her heart, but deep down, she hoped that help would arrive before it was too late. Just as the situation seemed hopeless, a sudden whoosh of wind cut through the chaos. A figure darted into the garden, moving with incredible speed and agility. It was a Navy SEAL, known for his bravery and skill in times of peril. Clad in tactical gear, he had arrived just in time to save Princess Isabella. With sharp eyes scanning the scene, the SEAL quickly assessed the unfolding drama. He was trained for situations like this and knew exactly what needed to be done. Without hesitating, he sprang into action, expertly maneuvering through the startled guards and frightened friends. His heart raced with purpose. He could feel the urgency to protect Isabella. As he approached the villains, he displayed impressive moves, a combination of strength and precision. The SEAL remained calm under pressure, knowing that he had to act swiftly before it was too late. With each step closer to Rocco and his gang, confidence surged within him. It was clear that he would do whatever it took to rescue the princess and restore peace to the kingdom once again. The Navy SEAL assessed the chaos in an instant. He noticed the three villains surrounding Princess Isabella, their faces twisted with malicious intent, and his mind raced as he formulated a plan. With years of training behind him, he recognized that speed and precision were crucial. Moving stealthily, he observed that the guards were distracted by the shout of alarm and hadn't yet regained control of the situation. Using cover from the nearby trees, he crept closer, calculating his approach. He saw that Rocco was closest to the princess, his hands ready to strike. In a split second, the SEAL leaped into action. He aimed for Rocco first, launching himself forward with powerful strides. With one swift move, he tackled Rocco to the ground, disarming him before the villain could even react. In a flurry of movement, he spun to face the other two villains, expertly using their own momentum against them. It all happened in mere seconds, transforming what seemed like a lost cause into a promising chance for victory. With Rocco on the ground, the Navy SEAL turned his attention to the remaining two villains, who hesitated, astonished by their leader's sudden defeat. In that split second of confusion, the SEAL struck with lightning speed. He moved like a flash, closing the distance between them with a focused intensity. One of the villains lunged at him, but the SEAL sidestepped smoothly, grabbing the villain's arm and using his momentum to flip him onto his back. The sound of thud echoed in the garden as he quickly pinned him down, efficiently securing his wrist with a swift twist. The last villain attempted to sneak up from behind, but the SEAL was prepared. He spun around and delivered a powerful kick that sent the villain sprawling to the ground. With expert precision, he disarmed both foes, sending their weapons flying through the air and clattering onto the grass. As they lay defeated and helpless at his feet, a wave of relief washed over Princess Isabella and her friends. The tide had turned dramatically. Hope surged anew in their hearts. As the chaos subsided and the last villain lay defeated, Princess Isabella's heart raced with a mix of emotions. Relief washed over her like a gentle wave, but it was quickly replaced by an overwhelming sense of gratitude. She looked at the Navy SEAL, who stood tall and confident amidst the remnants of the chaos. His bravery had saved her life, and she couldn't help but admire his strength and skill. Isabella felt a deep respect for this hero who had risked everything to protect her. Memories of fear and uncertainty began to fade, replaced by a growing admiration for the man who had dashed into danger without a second thought. She realized that she had witnessed true heroism today, and it filled her with hope for the future. As he approached her with a reassuring smile, Isabella knew she would never forget this moment. The courage he displayed inspired her deeply, and she vowed to honor his bravery by continuing to stand strong for her kingdom. In that instant, she felt a bond forming, a connection forged in the fire of bravery and resilience. As the dust settled, the once menacing villains now lay defeated on the ground, their plans thwarted. The Navy SEAL stood watchful, ensuring they posed no further threat. Soon, the palace guards arrived, rallying around the captured criminals. They expertly secured the villains with ropes, binding their hands and feet to prevent any chance of escape. Rocco glared defiantly at the guards, but the bravado in his eyes had faded. He and his cohorts were led away from the garden, their heads hung low in humiliation. Justice was swift. They were to be taken to the castle dungeon, where they would face a trial for their crimes against the kingdom. Princess Isabella watched as the guards escorted the villains through the palace gates, her heart swelling with a mix of relief and triumph. She knew that their defeat would send a strong message throughout the kingdom, that evil would not prevail, and that heroes existed to protect the innocent. With each step Rocco took toward his fate, Isabella felt a renewed sense of hope for her future and her people. In the days that followed the exciting rescue, the kingdom celebrated triumphantly. A grand feast was held in the castle, where everyone gathered to honor Princess Isabella and the brave Navy SEAL who had saved her life. Colorful banners adorned the walls and tables overflowed with delicious food, laughter, and music. Princess Isabella stood before her people, her heart swelling with pride. She spoke of courage and teamwork, emphasizing how each person's bravery played a vital role in overcoming the darkness that had threatened them. The crowd cheered, their voices echoing with admiration for their beloved princess. When it was time for the Navy SEAL to step forward, the applause grew even louder. He humbly accepted praise, reminding everyone that true heroism comes from working together. The bond forged between him and Isabella was a symbol of hope for all. As they raised their glasses in a toast to bravery, Isabella felt a sense of unity among her people. They had faced danger together and emerged stronger as a kingdom, ready to protect one another from any future threats. The story of Princess Isabella and the brave Navy SEAL teaches us powerful lessons about bravery, friendship, and the importance of standing up against wrongdoings. In times of chaos and fear, true heroes emerge, proving that courage isn't just about physical strength, but also about protecting those in need. Isabella's journey shows how vital it is to have faith in ourselves and our friends during challenging moments. The bonds formed through acts of bravery can inspire entire kingdoms, reminding us that we are stronger together. Facing fears head-on is essential in overcoming life's challenges, and we should always strive to support one another. Moreover, this tale emphasizes that justice will prevail when good people stand up against evil. Everyone has the potential to be a hero in their own way, whether through small acts of kindness or courageous choices in difficult times. As we reflect on this story, we are encouraged to embrace our courage, cherish our friendships, and commit to making our world a safer and better place for all.